Hello, my name is Doreen Corley. My husband and I are now living in Sumter, and we're going to a church called Harmony. Recently, our pastor was giving a new series, and he started the series on the book of Jonah. And immediately I woke up because my husband and I had been missionaries for 25 years in the country of Iran, and on our first ship trip out, we had an adventure that was almost like Jonah's. I relate to Jonah when I hear the story. We were not running away from what God wanted us to do. We were trying to get to. He called us to the country of Iran. And so after some months of gathering support and saying goodbye to our folks, we left the country of America. We got on a ship in New York, and Dick and I and our 3.5-year-old son, it was a Dutch freighter with a Dutch captain. I'd never seen the ocean before, of course, so my eyes were all agog, and I had never been on a ship before. And so we took off. It was about afternoon, and we had our supper. And the next thing we know, we were in our little stateroom. We passed by the Statue of Liberty. I had never seen her. And I looked long and hard and said, oh, it's going to be 5 years before I see her again. Lord, help us as we go. Sometime during the night, a storm did arise, a big storm. First thing we noticed was that the ship was beginning to rock back and forth, and I was beginning to wonder if my supper was going to stay down. Couldn't find my Dramamine, of course. They're never there when you really want them. And so anyway, during the night, the storm got more fierce. Our son Steve, had taken with him to play with on the 14-day trip across the Atlantic a box of Tinker Toys. And they were in a little long box, almost like Pringles are today, and the lid came off. And so we had Tinker Toys rolling from one side of the room to the other side of the room all night. Very, very fearful. Never had I been afraid like that before. And I said, Lord, maybe we made a mistake. What are we doing out here in the middle of the Atlantic in a hurricane? And so the days went on. It was 3 days. 3 days we were in that storm. And the only food that we got was they would come to our door, rap on the door, and when you opened the door, there was a thing of tea and bread or cookies or something. But we had no cooked meals. Everybody was hanging on for dear life, I guess. Anyway, it was not a passenger ship. There were only 8 passengers, and we were 3 of them. But as it got light, I look out, and I see a man coming across the ship, hanging onto a rope in one hand and a little tray in the other one. That was our breakfast being delivered. I told Dick, I said, honey, please, let's pray. We don't know where we are. We don't know where we're going. What have we done? And he said, everything will be fine, honey. Everything's going to be fine. Well, for all the fear, all the carry-on and so on, at the end of the 3rd day, the man came to our door and said, the captain would like to invite you to come to breakfast. Just like he was saying that every day. And I was so glad to hear breakfast mentioned. And so we got ourselves ready and went down, and we met the other 5 passengers, had a nice breakfast with our captain, who was a Dutchman, beautiful Dutchman. And we had all finished breakfast, and then he turned to Dick, just as we were standing up. He said, and how was your journey so far? And Dick said, awful. We've been scared the whole time. And the captain was so sweet. He said, I wish I had known that you were afraid, because I knew at no time were we in any danger. No danger after all that carry-on during the ship going back and forth and the lightning and the thunder. No danger? And so Dick and I said, thank you very much. And we went back to our room. And I told Dick, now that was something, wasn't it? What happened with all of that? And Dick, I said, you know, there was something we ought to learn from this. Maybe, honey, we should keep in touch with the captain. Oh, what a revelation. What a beautiful revelation. Keep in touch with the captain. He knows everything. Whenever we got in trouble, we said, keep in touch with the captain. I thought maybe hearing this story might make you want to know, who's the captain? The captain is our Lord Jesus. And he's got the figures all in mind. He's got the plan all made. Please, may that be a lesson for each one of you. Keep in touch with our captain. He's got it all under control. The Lord is good. Thank you.